Let's see. Might have to come over here a little bit. So Tuesday, I'm taking off. We have the garden bed here. John is still working and in school, so I'm going to set up an automatic watering system. I am the person that loves it, and yet I sometimes forget to water it. So what are the odds that you would forget to water it?
Right, they're yeah, pretty good.
And
it may very easily get quite hot before she gets back, so
yeah,
water would be necessary.
The only thing in here that has died is the basil that I used chemical fertilizers on. Everything else I used rabbit manure on, but the one that, unfortunately, I do have a very dead one that had chemical fertilizers. And these are doing much better than the ones in the front. So it's why I like to plant a lot of different gardens with a lot of different techniques to see what does well and what doesn't do well. And I also need to figure out how to do an automatic watering system for the keyhole garden. But smells so good. I actually need to take this off and put on the actual shade cloth. That would be a really good step to make at this point. It shouldn't get cold enough to kill anything. The way I know that, so many birds. The way that I know that is that the raised beds in the front, I use the cloth on them, not the plastic, and the basil in those beds is just fine. So I know that it would be an appropriate time to just put the shade cloth over. And that way, if John forgets to open it one morning, it won't get so hot in there with sunshine that it'll kill anything, but it will protect them from the wind, and it will protect them from critters. So, what are your thoughts on my leaving?
You're leaving?
Hmm?
You're leaving. We're always
ships in the night?
Ships, yes. Like, hi, bye. Good to see ya. It's fun while it lasted. What are your thoughts?
Unfortunately, a lot of what I'm thinking is just I'm really tired of going back and forth. I think, you know, a change-up is exciting at the beginning, but in the end, if you have too many change-ups, it starts to get old really, really fast. I'm excited for everywhere that we're going. I'm excited not to be around chlorinated water anymore so that I can stop itching. But we really have liked Tulsa. We really like Tulsa.
Yes, beautiful city. We're in a beautiful spot. Beautiful weather. And it's kind of nice to be able to start plants basically without any downtime. So as soon as you've made your harvest and everything, you know, their first snow, you started seeds. And here we are with a garden ready to plant. Like, full on. So there's no downtime in the growing season with a few modifications.
I don't know. I don't know that I noticed such a difference in the gardening. I started my hotbed here the same time I would have back in Idaho, and these took off at the same time that they would have back in Idaho because it has more to do with sunlight than it does with temperature if you're using a hotbed.
But with Idaho, you would be 2 more months before you can plant.
Oh, outside the greenhouse?
Yes.
Outside the greenhouse, it would have been in May.
Yeah. So we're 2 months ahead here, and 2 months later before everything dies. So that's been kind of nice.
One thing I do regret is that they're supposed to be quite a nice and enjoyable community as far as they have something called, is it Riverside Drive?
Yes.
And it's like a 50-mile loop that you can bike and jog on. The kids have had a lot of fun with friends here, so because it's not rural and it's urban, we've had some opportunities to make some friends and have some fun outdoor time that isn't farm related. So I think that will be a little bit sad to miss all of that. But if John gets work here, then I guess we will
Not miss it
be
for
able to enjoy that too. So it's all very interesting. So there's everything. I need to just take the back off there and put the fabric on so that I can access those plants on that side. Onions are doing good. I need to divide them out better. We've got peas, we have different kinds of Asian greens, and then you can see the Death Valley back there where I use commercial fertilizer. Because you have to charge the bed, it's you dilute the fertilizer and then pour in a quantity that will then help the bed underneath to degrade, to start to break down. And so when I did that with commercial fertilizer instead of rabbit manure, it made the plants in that area not happy. Everybody here has been recharged with rabbit manure, so they're still alive. And there's a lot of greens and a lot of carrots in there too, so I need to water them, and I've been using a misting system. If you see this here, this is why it's really, really, really good to have livestock around your garden. The grass and the vines are going to start trying to take over the garden bed. They're going to start coming through and they're going to try to climb up. And until the ducks were gone, this was not even an issue. But you see how quickly those came up. The ducks have only been gone for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And you see that I have, where before the ducks and the chickens had been rooting around and had scraped down to dirt to try and get to the weeds, now there's nothing to eat the weeds.